Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to New Smyrna. That is right, we are in the street stocks at New Smyrna, and this is something different. These guys are going hardcore tonight. These guys will be running multiple heats, a couple of mains, and in the feature, they will do 75 laps with no extra sets of tires, no fast repairs. You start with what you start with, you end with what you start with. So we will see a bit of attrition, I'd imagine. We'll see quite a few lead changes. We'll see some action like we just saw, as that was a different way of entering pit road. But as they wrap up practice, we will go over what this league and this track is all about. These are the Northeast Racers, and all of them literally live in the Northeast. They are all about that hardcore racing style. They run multiple heats, 3 mains, and then the feature. They have no fast repairs, no extra sets of tires. They run the 75 lap feature with cautions on, but the laps don't count, so they're going to be stretching everything to its limit. They are running this almost half mile. It is just 0.48 of a mile. I'm saying that wrong, but I'm not speaking real well at the moment. With 18 to 20 degree banking in the turns. These guys are going to be going at it, and that man right there in the number 74, that is James Seagroves DeCourcy, also known as Cupcake, and that's what we'll refer to him as tonight. And going forward, as they are wrapping up their practice and getting ready to go qualify, and we will get this party started. We'll watch James qualify as we go over this. Now, as I said, no fast repairs, no extra sets of tires, no nothing. They will run 4 heats. It looks like they'll have just enough people to get a full 4 heats in and 4 laps of qualifying. They'll have just enough people to get 4 heats in, and then they will wean that down through the heats and the mains to the feature. The heats are 8 laps. The features are 25 laps, and then the 75 lapper, or the mains are 25, and the 75 lap feature. As Cupcake goes out to turn his qualifying laps, we'll watch him for just a moment here. Now, these guys are new to us and new to the broadcasting for this particular division. This is their contender division. They have a couple of different divisions, and if you're from the Northeast, definitely take a look at them on Facebook and on iRacing if you're interested in joining them. Now, these guys will be running just under 20 seconds a lap all the way around here. Oh, James is getting a little loose coming off turn 2. You can tell he is pushing it to its limit. This is a fixed setup league. So, yes, Chris, we probably could. This is a fixed setup league, so they, with the fast repair, with the lack of fast repairs, lack of tires, they all got the same thing. They've all got it for 75 laps. There is no strategy. There is nothing but wide open racing. Becky Flowers in the chat used to go to this track at in high school, and happy birthday, Becky. I believe that was yesterday, actually, but don't worry, I will not make you suffer through my singing happy birthday. As qualifying is wrapping up, should be getting close to, looks like the fastest on track was Wally Trudeau, followed by Eric Pomoski. And I will get some of these names wrong tonight, but we'll get them straightened out over the next week. Then we've got, looks like at the last second, Nathan Wenzel shoots to the top, followed by Wally Trudeau. Then Eric Pomoski, Paul McCalbry, and Eric Laurendeau round out your top 5. Followed by Daniel Murphy, Harley Barletta, we know Harley. Daniel Sweeney, Thomas Johnson, and Eric Steele are your top 10. Jeffrey Ramsdell, And then Cupcake is 12th. Jason Pelkey is 13th. 14th is Clark Brooks. 15th is Dylan Tester. Looks like 16th is going to be Randall Phillips. Ryan Courier comes in 17th. The rest that did not qualify, we'll have to go through their names as they are racing, because we are getting ready to go green flag racing here at New Smyrna. And we are getting cars lined up on the track. Let's see who is in this first heat as they come out. And we will be getting used to, this is the first time we've broadcast for them, so we'll be getting used to some new names, some new cars, and hopefully we'll get everybody's name right in the next week or two, get used to all the different cars and their paint schemes, and we'll get this all figured out. But up front in the front row is James Seagroves DeCourcy, Mr. Cupcake himself. Five will advance from this into the feature, and then they will race through the remainders of the heats and 3 short mains. And given the number of cars here tonight, we'll probably only have a couple of mains, but we'll see how this thing plays out. Don't forget, immediately following that, Chris's birthday is Friday, and no, Chris, I will not sing for you. Which I'm sure my wife is glad to hear I'm not going to be singing. Looks like some of these guys are having a little bit of problem getting lined up out here. Looks like everybody's out there now. And hopefully the pace car will start rolling off and things will start going very quickly. Now, just because these guys do not have their fast repaired does not mean they are not going to be bumping and banging. These street stocks are definitely known for bumping and banging around, taking a lot of taking quite a beating. So this will be some exciting racing here tonight. As they come around, we'll see if the pace car drops off or if they're going to do one more. Looks like they'll get one more pace lap in, and then we'll go green flag racing. And things will go quickly with these heats and these mains and the feature. And don't forget to stick around afterwards. We'll go immediately over to the Outcast boys in the Michael Greynold's SR8 series at Michigan International Raceway. And that will definitely be a great race to watch. Last time they were there, they were 3 and sometimes 4 wide going through the turns, made for some extremely exciting racing. But right now the pace car is going to drop off and they're going to get the green flag. They are off, and it is Clark Brooks out front as they go into turn 1. Looks like Cupcake slid up to the outside just a little bit. Clark manages to get away, but the 32 of Eric Steele down to the inside. He is starting to close up. Oh! Leader spins. And he gets into the number 32. Caution is out. We got to see that one live. No need for a replay, but we'll take a look at it anyway. And here you see the 25 just got loose, managed to clip the 32 as they came out of the corner, and that was enough to bring the caution flag out. And they do have some pretty hardcore rules about causing the cautions and what'll happen. So you won't see a lot of cautions. These guys are going to be extra careful early in the races, especially the longer features. But in this heat, trying to get a good starting spot. And by virtue of that accident, Cupcake is in the lead. Lights should be going out on the pace car now. They did not. So it looks like we'll get one more caution lap. We'll go back through the field. That is the 74 of James Seagroves DeCourcy, also known as Cupcake. Right behind him is the number 12. That is Tony Quadros. Hope I am saying that correctly. As the 32 comes around, that's the 12 back there. We've got one up there, number 2. I believe that is... Looks like we've got 2 number 12s on the track. There is the 32, those 2 involved in the earlier crash, starting at the back. And as I said, this is our first time broadcasting these guys, so we're still getting used to the cars and the names. 1 to green. As they line up side by side, just know on cold tires, these things do get a little bit loose, and you'll see them sliding around the turns early. But when we get in those longer races, as the tires wear, they start to tighten up, and they get really tight really quick, and instead of seeing them try and spin, you'll see them heading for the outside wall. Pace car drops in. Cupcake is going to lead them down. Looks like Daniel Sweeney, that's the 31 there on the outside. The 41 right behind him, looks like he's having some connection difficulties. He blinked out there for a minute. Little trouble in the back brings out our second caution. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Looks like the 12, the 32, and the 25. The 41's down low. 12 goes up to try and avoid him. Gets into the 19. They spin, and it looks like the 25 was kind enough to turn the turn his competitor back around. You're right, Chris. I probably could not. And looks like it is Daniel Sweeney up front. He got around Cupcake after the restart. Randall Phillips is right behind them. That should be the number 19 car. And that was the one that got turned around a little bit. That is Randall Phillips. He's being scored in second. Looks like he's actually on the restart going to be back about 6th or 7th as the 25 hits the pit road cone just because he can. I don't blame him. I do the same. We'll hop back up front here as they get ready to go green again. We'll see if they can finish this thing under green. Nope. Looks like we get another lap. And shout out to the sponsors of the racingschool.net. They do one of those on-track schools. So you'll go to one of the tracks up in the Northeast, and they I don't remember which one they told me it was, but they'll you get in a car and you with an instructor, they drive you around, they teach you, and by the end of the day you are driving that car by yourself. Having done one of those at Texas Motor Speedway, I can tell you it's super cool. If you get the opportunity, definitely go do one. And if you're in the neighborhood, go check out theracing.school.net. And shout out to LFOD Motorsports as well, also located up in the Northeast. As we get ready to go green again. Pace car is off. We'll see if Cupcake can reclaim the lead or if Daniel Sweeney can run away with it now. Daniel was really fast on that outside line getting around Cupcake, but looks like Cupcake is starting to make the comeback. And they are 2 and 3 wide back behind him. That's a little sketchy, boys. This track ain't made for 3 wide. You can do it, but it ain't made for it. And it looks like Cupcake edges ahead coming off of turn 2, going down into turn 3. Got in a little bit hot, had to check up. And they are not, neither one of them's given any ground yet. But off turn 2, Cupcake jumps to the lead. Halfway point this time. And these two have ran away from the number 19. That third place car back there is Randall Phillips. Daniel Murphy right behind him in the 41. He is currently, as we're under caution. Alrighty, let's see what happened. 32 looks like he is going high. The 41 got low. The 12 gets together. And the 32 goes for a tumble. And again, they do not have any fast repairs in any of the heats. So it looks like we're going to have a couple of cars out. We will see if they can get any repairs done and get back out on track. Looks like we've got the 32 and I believe the 20. That is. And the 12 is now on pit road as well. So we've got several cars on pit road. As the 74 has reclaimed the lead, we'll see on this next restart if Daniel Sweeney can manage to get back around him. 19 of Randall Phillips was falling back. He wanted to see a caution. Daniel Murphy. Clark Brooks in the 25. He was back there after that early caution. He's back there in 5th place. He is on the bubble to advance. And the field will also invert. So the 5 that advance from here will be inverted when they get into the feature. Then everybody will invert all the way around. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Ryan. 20 is the admin and not racing. To answer your question, Chris, I do not know if they do dirt. I will have to look into that, though. As Cupcake leads them around, looks like we might actually time out on this one. About 40 seconds left to go. They should get the... No, they didn't. Yes, they got the 1 to go this time by. So it's going to be close if they can finish this under green or not. At about 20 seconds a lap, it will be very, very close. And it looks like the 5 remaining on track will advance. Green flag is in the air. Cupcake takes off, but it looks like Daniel Sweeney to the outside's got the advantage. We saw Cupcake make the passes to the outside. We saw the 12 make the pass to the outside earlier. And here comes the 25 down to the inside. That is Clark Brooks down to the inside. He is moving up into second. 1 lap to go. We'll see what happens here. The 25 looked like he grabbed some apron and got a little loose, fell back, falls back in line as the 12 closes right back up on the 74. But Cupcake holds him off, and James Seagroves de Courcy wins the first heat. And we're going to hop over into Heat 2 now. These guys got lined up very quickly. They saw the carnage in the first one, so I imagine they're going to be a little bit more careful this time around, but who knows? Pace car leading them off. Let's see if we can get up here to the front. Looks like the 52 and the 58 will lead them down. I'm sorry, it's the 52 and the 64 on the front row. Did not see him out there. The old 07 Tide paint job reminiscent of Darrell Waltrip. That is very cool. And that is one of the great things about these older street stocks. You see a lot of guys running those older paint schemes, like that number 52 running a Terry Labonte Kellogg's paint scheme. Some of us grew up looking at those and really glad to see them back out on the track. Pace car's about to duck in. The 52 will lead them. They take off on the green on every restart. So once that green flag is out, they are gone. Dylan Tester and Jason Pelkey lead them down into turn 1. It looks like Jason gets the run off the top line. Everybody keeps it straight, coming through the back straightaway, and it looks like we've got one already. Jeffrey. Oh, the 07 was spinning down on the inside, brings out the caution. Let's take a look at that. Looks like he got in there just a little too hard, spun it around, managed to keep it off of his opponents, and that is some great driving, great save on his part. Not collecting anybody else. You got to like it when you see a guy that can, when everybody works together like that, manages to keep from wrecking each other. Looks like the still Dylan Tester at the front. Jason Pelkey. Then we saw Jeffrey Ramsdell trying to make a charge down to the inside. But got caught and got spun. Then we've got Thomas Johnson in the 58 up here. Saw him starting to make some moves towards the front as well. So a lot of these guys are already looking to make their way up. And there are 8 drivers in this one. Unfortunately, scoring doesn't update for us during the heat, so once they come around, it'll line us out. But it's going to look like it looks like it's Dylan Tester in the front, the 64 Jason Pelkey, the 58 of Thomas Johnson, and then right behind them we have the 81 of Mr. Harley Barletta. He is in the 5th position on the bubble, followed by Ryan Courier, Dan LaFoe, Dustin Thibodeau. 1 lap to green as they line back up. And for once, I actually approve of Harley's paint scheme. And the 52 is going to bring him down. One of the rules in the league is you go on green, so there is no confusion, no tricking, no strategy. These guys sort it out on the track. As the green flag drops, it looks like Jason gets a heck of a start. Looks like he got in just a little bit quicker, got on the gas a little quicker, and jumps to the lead. The 52 slips back, and the 58 is there. As the 81 on the outside, looks like Harley might be going backwards just a little bit. As is the 52. The 58 is already starting to look inside as Jason Pelkey is starting to pull away from the pack just a little bit. They get almost single file all the way around the track for the moment. That will not last. As 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there, the 3-car Ryan Courier starting to make a move on the outside of the 58 of Thomas Johnson. Doesn't make it stick, manages to drive off as the 52 gets loose coming off turn 4, drops down to the inside. Everybody makes it. He managed to save it. Great save by that excuse me, by that gentleman. That is Dylan Tester. He manages to save that when, down on the apron, gets loose again. The 3's loose as well. They managed to keep him going straight though. And Harley Barletta uses that to his advantage and slips up into 4th. But the number 1, the 64 of Jason Pelkey has ran out into a 2.5 lead while these guys are back here slip sliding and battling. And it looks like Harley Barletta lost a position there. Harley Barletta slipped back to 5th. Dan LaFoe in the 76. Let's take a quick look at him. He has moved up back up into 4th. The 52's got trouble down in turn 3 and 4, but they are on the last lap. There will be no caution. Make sure the 64 gets around. I'm sure the 52 got clear of the track quickly. Yes, he did. As the 64 of Jason Pelkey comes in to win. Thomas Johnson 2nd, Ryan Courier 3rd, Dan LaFoe 4th, and Harley Barletta 5th. Jeffrey Ramsdale, Dylan Tester, and Dustin Thibodeau will have to race their way in later as we move on to Heat 3. And while we're catching our breath here, that one got a little bit exciting. While we're catching our breath here, go take a look on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Oh, we're going into the warm-up. The heats are completed. So it looks like all the drivers got their heats in. Everybody's sorted out. And while they're warming up, just want to say that go take a look, like us, and follow and share on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. We are broadcasting live on Facebook and Twitch. The video of the race part only will be on YouTube probably tomorrow. as we've got the Outcast Independent League's SR8 series immediately following these guys. So they will have their couple of minute warm up, and we will hop on to the next event. As we're watching some of these guys go 3 wide in their warm up, trying to find out how they can get every inch out of it. And looks like the 64, who won a heat just a moment ago, had a little trouble down to the inside. And the 03 is having a little trouble down to the inside. Who's the 03? That is Nathan Wenzel. Also the fastest one on track. And okay, that was fun. Let's go watch Nathan. Just because these cars are a ton of fun to watch, and when they wreck, it is definitely exciting. So let's just see what happened here with the oh, that is the 74. It looks like. Oh, yes, it is. Gets into the 03, gets into the pit road wall, gets sent up into the air, and full yeet. And he's going to have to... Oh, and the 07 gets into him as well. Yeah, his pit crew is going to be very unhappy with him right about now. And we move on to the feature. It looks like we got through everything with the smaller field. So we are already on to our 75 lap feature. And remember, next week we will be back here with these guys as well. So you definitely want to give us a follow and make sure you do not miss that. We will immediately after this switch over and we'll have the Outcast SR8s at Michigan. That is racing. You don't want to miss either. These guys bump and bang and have a lot of fun like that, but those cars are nose to tail, 3 and 4 wide, all the way around the track non-stop. Looks like leading us off pit road will be Eric Laurendeau, followed by Paul McCorby, and third is Eric Pomaski. I'm going to get these names right. Wally Trudeau in fourth, Nathan Wenzel in fifth, Cupcake, James Seagroves DeCourcy in 6th, Jason Pelkey in 7th, Daniel Sweeney is 8th, Thomas Johnson 9th, and Clark Brooks rounds out our top 10. '11th is Ryan Courier, Randall Phillips is 12th, Dan LaFoe is 13th, 14th is Daniel Murphy, Harley Barletta way back there in 15th, and Tony Quadros is 16th, Jeffrey Ramsdale 17th, Eric Steele is 18th, Dylan Tester is 19th, 20th is David Greenslet, Dustin Thibodeau, Kyle Buck, Alan Young, Ben Basowski, and Rodney Hunton round out the 25 cars on track for the 75 lap feature event. Now remember folks, these guys might take it a little bit easier early on. They have no fast repairs. They have no extra set of tires. They have no reason to pit other than to repair, and if they have to repair, it's going to take a while. They will go on the green flag as the pace car drops off. We will watch Eric lead them down into turn 1. No, the 80 looks like Eric got a bad start. The 87 jumps fast to the front, followed by the 8, but the 46 is pulling back up to the inside, as it is too wide all the way to the back. Let these guys get these tires warmed up and settled in, then we're going to see a lot of action. Oh, little banging between the 8 and the 46. That was Eric. And oh, looks like we've got a wreck on in turn 3. Caution is out. The 46 is turned. The 07 is turned. Let's see if we can find out what happened there. Alright, looks like we've got the 8 and the 46 coming down into turn 3. 8 came down just a little early. Gave the 46 a love tap. Everybody else gets by clean except for the 07, and he manages to save it, although he got down there in the runoff. But they keep going straight, and everybody is going to drive away with minimal to no damage. Justin Glover, it is great to have you in the chat, sir. Stick around after this one, Justin. You can watch some Radical SR8s go insane at Michigan. 3 and 4 wide, 3 and 4 deep, all the way around the track. Looking through the scoring right now, nobody got any real big moves quite yet, but I imagine as tires start to wear, we'll see a couple of guys that manage their tires better that'll come to the front, and a couple of these guys at the front may end up going backwards. They'll eat the tires up for if they push too hard and start to lose grip and slide up into the wall. As these guys come around, now to turn 3 and 4, we should be getting the 1 to go. Get a little bit further back in that view. And once we get under a little bit of a green flag run, we'll hop in the cockpit with one of these guys, and we won't do the guy at the front. We'll have to do somebody in the middle so you can see what it's like to drive these cars around here. They're doing upwards of 120 to 140 miles an hour. It will get a little bit crazy. It does get a little bit crazy, and when you're a rookie in iRacing doing oval, this is where you start. This track, these cars. Alrighty, pace car ducks off onto pit road. Paul is going to lead them down, the number 8 there to the outside. Looks like a couple of guys got a little bit of a rough start there on the outside. That gives the 87 and the 471. Eric Pomoski. That gives them a chance to jump out to the front. The 8 car is still there, right there with them, looking to the outside. Can't get anything done just yet. Little further back, we've got a little bumping and banging here. Look like the 74 and the 03 got together just a little bit, and the 74 gets a little loose down into turn 3, catches it back up. Cupcake saves it again. And the 58 and look like the 64 got together. We're under caution going into turn 1. Alright, let's take a look and see if we can see what happened here. Looks like the 58 just got a little bump from the 76, got turned around, and a couple of different guys got caught up in it. And looks like the 76 might have went for a little bit of a roll. Let's see if we can rewind the footage just a hair. Yep, it does look like 76 gets caught by the 58, bumped up into the wall, tries to bring it down, had some mechanical problems, and flips it. Terry Labonte's 52 car, driven by Dylan Tester, manages to get by cleanly. And we are back with the lead pack. I have faced that man right there in these street stocks here particularly, and he is a tough competitor in that. That is Cupcake James Seagroves DeCourcy. He is definitely one to keep an eye on tonight, but also back here is a man, if you've watched any of our broadcasts, you know he is one to watch always as the 81 of Harley Barletta. Except, of course, in a Cup car at Phoenix. He struggled there this past week, but going into Martinsville this coming Sunday, he will definitely be one to watch. And again, the pace laps don't count, but without a fast repair, any of these guys getting caught up in the wreck, especially the guy we saw flipping down the back straightaway a few minutes ago, they're going to be on pit road getting some repairs. I believe that's Dan LaFoe that is currently on pit road. Let's go take a quick look. Does not look like he's even showing up at the moment, so I'm going to assume one to green. We'll hop back up here with the leaders. And once we get a couple of green flag laps, we'll try and get in one of these cars. Once they get kind of single filed and calm down for a few minutes, it's a long race, boys. Take it easy. Now, even though you don't see these guys under caution, the damage physics are realistic. So they bang into each other. It will damage the car. It will mess up the handling. These cars are pretty tough, but they can still you can still get some screwy handling. So, oh, the 87 gets a late start on that green flag. The 8 almost gets into him. And the 471 jumps out there to the lead. That is Eric Pomaski. As they come down 3 and 4, the 12 is up in the wall. Manages to keep it going. The 46 gets caught up, though. Will they stay green? Looks like they will. Looks like the 12 car is missing. Try and get a better look at him here in a minute. Looks like he's got a little damage to the right front. I'd imagine he's feeling more damage than what he's seeing. You hit that hard on the right front, it will mess the handling up just a smidge. And since we like watching Cupcake go around here, let's hop in the cockpit as he comes across the start-finish line, and we'll ride a lap with Mr. JSD. As they come down to across the start-finish line, come down into turn 1. You can see that car is still moving around a lot. He's having to work that wheel, gets a little loose up off the turn, slows down just a little bit. Once he hits the rev limiter, gets down low, holding that bottom line. They will not be able to stay on that line all night. That is a lap of New Smyrna in a street stock. And looks like they are starting to get single filed and calm down just a bit back there as the 19 was looking under the 74. That number 19 is the man on the move right now. That is Randall Phillips. Randall started in 12th. He is already up to 6th. Do believe he's the biggest mover so far, followed by the number 41 to Daniel Murphy. Caution is out. Let's go see if we can Alright, looks like you got the 32, the 21, and I believe we'll see one more come into this. They go 3 wide down the back straightaway. The 21 and 32 get together, spin the 3. He catches the 58, and the 52 manages to dodge this one. He is extremely lucky tonight. And we will take a quick look because the 58 had a pretty good impact there. Damage to the left front, damage to the right front, damage to the roof. So we're going to see quite a few cars having to get the old-fashioned kind of repairs on pit road. See if they can get back out and get some points. As you see there, the 58 and the 12 are both on pit road. The 471 did not want to see this. He was starting to build a little bit of a lead, had about 2 seconds on the field before that caution came out. Number 19, Randall Phillips, we talked about him just a minute ago. He's up in 6th. We've got in 8th place, Daniel Murphy in the 41. There's Daniel. He started in 14th. He's up to 8th. Right behind him, Clark Brooks in the 25. Started in 10th. He's up to 9th already. And behind them, the 81, Harley Barletta. Started in 15th, up to 10th. Quite possibly the biggest mover was Dustin Thibodeau before that accident. He had started in 21st and had worked his way up to 11th. So we'll see how much repair he needs and if he can get back out here. And we get the 1 lap to green, so you're going to have Eric Pomoski and Nathan Wenzel on the outside, Paul McCorby and Wally Trudeau 3rd and 4th, James Seagroves DeCourcy in 5th, Randall Phillips, Jason Pelkey, Daniel Murphy, Clark Brooks, and Harley Barletta round out your top 10. And here we go again. As the pace car gets ready to drop off, they will wait for that green flag and hope they get a really good start. Green flag is in the air. And they look like they're going to try and make it 3 wide. No, they back off of it just enough. But they are getting dicey coming off of turn 2. As the 8 is trying to look to get back up to the front, he gets down underneath the 03. He is moving forward. That number 19 was the man on the move before. As we see him move for the lead, the number 97, Paul McCorby, he driving to the inside. Caution is out again. And looks like we're looking at the 52. And the 07, the 52 gets in just a little too hot, bumps up into the 3, and the 07 had nowhere to go. Bill Percy in the chat saying, let's hit Harley. Don't worry, Bill. I have made sure that they are aware that there's somebody supposed to go, and if they get into Harley, they're also supposed to tell them that Jar Jar sucks. That is the plan. So hopefully one of these guys will get that done for me. But in the meantime, it is the 471 leading them around under caution. We're on lap 13 of 75. Caution laps do not count, but the longer this goes, the more green flag laps I think we're going to see. As some of these guys are getting more damage, they'll be slowed down substantially and they will be struggling. There won't be as much side by side from the middle back. We'll see how it all plays out. The 52 of Dylan Tester was the one that got turned just a moment ago. I don't believe he got any damage that time though. Does not looks like he's got a little bit of damage to the left front, might have a little damage on the hood, but nothing dramatic. Should be getting the 1 to green next time by. as the pace car brings them down. Lights should go off here in a moment. Yes, indeed. 471 will lead them down. It looks like, are they going to go single file? Yes, they are going single file restart this time. As the pace car drops off, that single file restart should give us some more green flag laps. We'll see how this plays out. The 471 is going to lead them down. Has a little bit of an advantage over the 87 there, but it's not going to be a lot. We saw the 87 was already making moves. The 471 has built up, that is Eric Pomoski. He has built up quite a lead. Already jumping out to almost a half a second lead as they come off the turns. Looks like the 87, that is Paul McCorby, is managing to pull back up going into the turns, but coming off, that is all Eric. The 03 back there in third place, that is Nathan Wenzel, followed by Wally Trudeau in the 8. We've seen Wally battling all night long. It looks like he is going to give us a little action right now. No, he doesn't manage to get to the inside. There is the 19, the man on the move. 19 is up there. He is battling for fourth place. Catches a little bit of the apron, and here comes Cupcake to the inside. Looks like the 19 caught the apron, had to check up to save it, and that allowed everybody behind him to catch back up. Oh, Cupcake gets a little bit loose coming off the turn. He looks like he's got it gathered back up. The 41 right behind him gets loose. Coming down, caution is out. All right, let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. Looks like the 41 and the 25 right behind him go in there. 41 checks up just a little bit. 75 gets into him, turns him. Looks like 41. They both probably have a minor front end damage, but I think they'll be okay. They are both going straight yet again, and minimal damage on the front of either car. As they come around, we are on lap, looks like 18 of 75. Still got a ways to go, so hopefully they'll try a single file restart again and get some more green flag laps in. I know that they have some very strict rules. The admins are very strict about if you cause a caution, the repercussions. And most of the time, if it's a racing incident, it's understandable. But if you're doing something crazy, there's actually a rule about if you go 3 wide and you cause an accident, then you will be DQ'd. So that is meant to help promote some safe racing, some green flag laps. And it looks like the 19th is the 19 car, Randall Phillips, still back there in 5th. Couldn't get the pass completed up into 4th. The 8 is still holding on to 4th. James Seagroves DeCourcy is in 6th. Jason Pelkey in 7th. Clark Brooks in 8th. Harley Barlett has moved up to 9th. Ryan Courier has moved up to 10th. Tony Quadros is 11th. Eric Laurendeau is 12th. He started in 1st. Looks like Jeffrey Ramsdale started in 17th. He's moved up to 13th. Eric Steele has moved up to 14th from starting in 18th. Dustin Thibodeau, the number 21 car, we saw him in a little bit of trouble earlier. He started in 21st. He's back up to 15th. Dylan Tester in the 52 missed the first couple of wrecks and finally got caught in one. He's back there in 16th right now. Alrighty, looks like they are going to do a 2-wide restart this time. Take it easy this time, boys. Looks like we got a good restart. Nobody had trouble getting off the line this time around. They all get down into turn 1 and out of turn 2. Okay, as we see that big pack right behind him, the 03. Oh, the 52's down low. Looked like he might have struggled getting off of turn 2. But the 471 is loving seeing this 2-wide racing right behind him. That gives him a chance to break away. The 87 car of Paul McCorby is trying to get a run to the outside. Can't get enough, though. Gets a little bit loose off the turn, pushing really hard. As the front 5 have started building a small gap, but a gap nonetheless, as the 03 is down there to the inside. The 19 is looking outside. 19 has been on the move, and he gets a run off the turn, makes a pass for 4th place. He was battling for that before the last caution, and now he has managed to get there right up on the back bumper of the 8. Making a move to the outside on the 8. He is going for 3rd place. That man is going to the front. Couldn't quite make the pass for 3rd stick just yet, but I imagine he's not giving up. As now he's starting to look to the inside coming off turn 2. Can't get there quite yet. In this track and these cars, a lot of times you have to build up your run and plan it out, and it looks like he is taking turns 1 and 2 a little easy, setting up for a good run down the back stretch into 3. As we watch this battle going on in the top 5, this is about 1st through 5th, 6th place. Right behind them, they are all lined up, playing nice for a few minutes. We hit lap 25. That number 19 is definitely a little bit faster, but the fastest car on the track right now is the 471, the leader. Eric has the fastest laps, has for the last few, except for that last lap. The man that had the fastest lap last time, and it looks by quite a bit, is the number 74. Cupcake himself has had quite a run. Looks like he is closed right up on the back bumper. That is for about 6th and 7th place right there. He's trying to pass the number 64 of Jason Pelkey for 6th place. Looks like he's going to get down to the inside of the 64. Manages to make it stick coming off turn 4. Gets the run down into 1. We'll see if Jason can get anything off the outside. He is definitely getting down there leaning on Cupcake, trying to make sure he does not get a run up off the corner. Trying to take the 74's line away. Looks like it's working, and right behind him is the 81 of Harley Barletta. Now he's looking to the outside of Cupcake. Oh, Cupcake they got together just a little bit, collected the 3 car. Caution is out. All right, let's see here. They get down in there. Looks like it might have been a little net code because they were side by side, but they didn't look like they touched. Almost, collects a couple more down at the bottom of the track. Looks like the 07 got caught up this time, and the 3 looks like his engine might be done. Yes, I am showing the 3 car is on pit road. His engine was smoking. Not sure if he'll be able to get back out. Eric is still at the front, followed by Paul. Wally Trudeau in third. And as we saw, Randall Phillips in the 19 managed to get up to fourth. There is the 19 of Randall Phillips. He started in 12th. He is all the way up there. And the other big mover in the top 10 right now is the 81. That is Harley Barletta. Started in 15th. He is up to 8th. And it looks like we've got a couple more cars that might be on pit road. We'll have to see when scoring updates. Looks like Ryan Courier might be on pit road. He's in the 3 car, so he's on pit road trying to get his engine fixed. The 58 of Thomas Johnson is shown as being on pit road as well. Have to see if Thomas is having some difficulties. Let's see if the 3, looks like they got the fire put out. Looks like the 58 is back out on track. And we'll see if these guys can get back going green flag racing here in just a moment. As they get the one to green, lights out on the pace car. The 19 is going to restart on the outside of the 8. We saw the 19 get some really good runs off the outside. Looks like he prefers that line, so we might see a new third place driver here in just a moment. And we'll see if he can work his way. We'll follow him around for a lap or two and see if he can work his way up into the top position. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Looks like the 19 got a heck of a start. Caught the 8 sleeping, but the 8 caught right back up. 19's trying to hold him down, cut off his line. He's getting a bit of a run. 87's got a run to the outside as well. And looks like the 19 is going to hold on to the third position for the moment and starting to make a move on second place. And on the outside back there is the 81 of Harley Barletta. He is all the way back up into 6th place. It is worth noting that before tonight, Harley had never driven this track. He had driven the other version of it, which is known as USA International, but he had never driven this one. And generally speaking, when Harley says, "I've never driven this track before, I don't even own it," that's not good for the competitors. And you can see that coming to fruition right now as he gets out to the outside. I don't know what luck thing it is, but the first time Harley's on a track, he just comes charging to the front. And currently, while we were watching this battle, the 87 is trying to get around the outside. As they come down, the 19 is looking like he was going to try and make it 3 wide there. Didn't manage to do it. Oh, the 87 drives up onto the wall, pushing very hard, but it gives the 19 a chance to move up into 2nd place. That is Paul McCorby. I'm sorry, that is Randall Phillips moving into 2nd. Paul McCorby falls back to 3rd. And the 19 is now got his sights on the 471. And as Andrew pointed out in the chat, we've all been collected at some point, and something that was totally not our fault. This track, especially at this track, is small, and once something starts to happen, everybody right behind it, everybody around it is going to be involved. Should be coming to halfway this time by. It looked like the car of Eric Pomaski got a little bit better run that time than the 19. I'm wondering if the 19 has overused his tires just a little bit. Might have to slow down for a lap or so. You can see those brake rotors glowing red. He is getting down into the turns really hard. He is right up there on the back bumper, and he is using everything he can to try and find a way around Eric right now. Starts to look to the inside. Doesn't make a move just yet. Actually backed off just a little bit. Right behind him, there's a battle for 4th and 5th place as the 81 of Harley Barletta comes right up on the back bumper of Nathan Wenzel. The front 5 have got a little bit of a gap back to the 8 of Wally Trudeau. And from the 8 car back is even a little bit bigger gap. So lap traffic will start to come into play in about another 10 to 15 laps. As you see the field starting to spread out. As the leaders come out of 4, the car in the back is, I do believe, the number 52. He is almost a half a lap back now, so the lap traffic will come into play. And he is running about a quarter of a second slower than the leader right now. And there is your leader, still the 471, but the 19 is right on his bumper. And that's given the 87 an opportunity to come right back to the back bumper of the 19. Looks like, at least for the moment, oh, I was going to say they were content, but here comes the 87 down to the inside. And, oh, hang on to it. Yay, he saved it. He drove down in there like a madman, but he saved it. Lost a little bit of ground, but the way he's driving, I know he's going to come back to the front. That gives the 03 checked up just a little bit and gives Harley Barletta a bit of an opening. Can't capitalize on it, though. And you can see the 87 is already closing the gap back to the 19 car. The last lap, the fastest car on track was still Eric in the 471, though. He is running consistently at least a tenth faster than Randall Phillips. Randall just has the advantage of being right there, getting a little bit of drafting help. As we mentioned earlier, it looked like the 19 was really good at getting into the corners, but the 471 is really good getting back off the corners. It looks like they've opened up about a 1 second gap back to Paul McCorby. Nathan Wenzel right behind him, and Harley Barletta about 1.8 seconds back, and then Eric Steele in 6th place is about 2 seconds back. So starting to see some gaps opening up on the track. And let's go take a look at Mr. Eric Steele. There's Eric in the 12 car. He was involved in one of those early cautions. He started in 16th, was involved in an early caution, managed to turn this thing around. Sorry, that is the 12. There is the 32 of Eric Steele. Like I say, he was in some early cautions. You can see the damage on his car. Because they do not have any fast repairs, you can see he's got some damage to the nose of that car. Started in 18th, managed to work his way all the way up to 6th. The 12 car that we were looking at a moment ago, that is Tony Quadros. He also was caught up in a couple of early cautions. He started in 16th. He fell back for a bit, but now he's in 12th and making a pass for 11th on the 25. That is Clark Brooks there to the outside in the 25 car. And remember, Clark won one of the earlier heats. As we look to see if Clark's going to pull a crossover move as Tony moves up into 11th. Right in front of them is the 07. He's been caught in several of these incidents, just couldn't avoid them. He's taken a beating, but he has worked his way back up into 10th place. And actually running some fairly quick laps here. So we might see him close that gap up just a little bit. He's actually faster than the cars in front of him and faster than the 6th, 7th, and 8th place cars. And faster that time than Dustin Thibodeau in front of him in the 21. As we mentioned earlier in the race, they have no fast repairs, no extra sets of tires. They have nothing. They get what they get when they start the race, and that's it. So you're seeing a lot of these guys that have managed their tires better, managed their car better, and they are starting to make moves to the front. As the 19 drifts high into turn 1 and 2, and looks like the 03 was ready to pounce, but did not get it done quite yet. You can see him having to check up coming off the corner. If they got somebody on the outside, these cars are starting to tighten up just a little bit. About the only thing they can adjust on them while they're on the track is the brake bias. They can move it back to loosen up the car a little bit on entry. The 471, that Eric Pamas, I had it right a minute ago. Eric is loving this two-wide racing right behind him. He's looking in the mirror and seeing 3-4 cars there that are right there side by side. Look like the 52 is back off of pit road after getting some more repairs. And it looks like the 19 is actually just a little bit slower right now. He may not have managed his tires as well as he thought. And you see those brake rotors glowing red. Still has quite a bit of front brake bias, but he is wearing that car out. As he slips back to third, the 87 is right there ready to pounce any mistake. And of course the 81 of Harley Barletta right behind him. And look who it is. The 32 of Eric Steele. After watching these guys battle, he has managed to close the gap up. He is right on the back bumper of Harley Barletta. Last lap by, he was faster than Harley, Paul, Randall, and Nathan. Harley moves up the track just a little bit, lets the 32 by. Eric moves up into 5th. That is a really good run on Eric's part, especially with 13 laps to go. Involved in a couple of earlier wrecks, but manages to pull this thing off. He's all the way up into the 5th spot after starting 18th and being caught in the early cautions. As we come to 12 to go, just a reminder, stick around. Afterwards, we will switch over immediately to the Radical SR8s with the Outcast boys at Michigan. And while these guys are beating and banging and sliding around, those guys are planted to the ground, got all the downforce in the world, and draft like crazy, and they will be 3-4 wide, 3-4 deep, all the way around the track all night long. And while you're waiting, you can go over to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe, share that. This race will be posted there probably tomorrow morning. since we've got so much racing going on tonight, but it'll be posted there. And we're also live on Twitch and Facebook right now, so go give those a look, a like, a follow, a share, and all that other fun stuff. It looks like the 32 is charging forward. 9 laps to go. Let's see if he can do anything. The 19 has slipped back to third. We've got quite a pack here. Just a few minutes ago, that 32 car was way back there. These top 3 guys had ran off and had a couple second gap on the 4th, 5th, and 6th place cars. Now you've got the top 5 within less than a second. And you can hear those tires squealing. They are worn out after 75 hot laps plus the extra caution laps. They are losing grip and sliding all over the place right now, as that 32 really closes up on that lap. 6 laps to go. 471 of Eric is still in the lead. The battle, though, is going to be for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, coming to 5 laps to go. 87 is already starting to look to the inside. 19 gets way sideways into turn 1. Has to check up. That gives the 87 a gap down low. He's going to dive off into turn 3. Will it be enough as the 32 comes to the outside trying to hold him down? 4 laps to go. Looks like Eric and Nathan are just going to run off with it as the 32 is making the move into 4th. As they get 3 to go, it looks like it's going to be Eric Steele moving up into the 4th spot. And now he's going to make the move for the 3rd position. Into turn 3, he's ducking down low. He's definitely going to get the 3rd position. Will he have enough to make it into 2nd? I don't know if he can do it with 2 laps to go. Lap traffic is going to come into play here momentarily. There is the 03, the 2nd place car, Nathan Wenzel, following Eric around the track in the 471. 1 lap to go. The lap car, the 25 car, may not come into play as they come down into 3 and 4, and it looks like Eric will pull this one off. Yes, he will. Eric Pomoski. I will have that right by next week because I'm going to talk to him. Finishes 1st. Nathan Wenzel finishes 2nd. Eric Steele in 3rd. Heck of a run from Eric. Started in 18th, involved in several cautions, and still manages to come to the front in that 32 car. Randall Phillips finishes 4th. Paul McCorby 5th. Harley Barletta, Wally Trudeau, Dustin Thibodeau, Jeffrey Ramsdell, and Tony Quadros round out your top 10. Jason Pelkey, Cupcake, James Seagroves DeCourcy is 12th. Eric Laurendo finishes 13th. Clark Brooks is 14th. And there is your top 3. Looks like they are getting some celebration pictures out of the way. But there is your winner tonight, Eric Pomosco. Eric. I will have that right by next week. My apologies to anybody whose names I mispronounce as he's getting his burnout in. And we got Andrew in the chat congratulating as the 471 goes on to do his victory lap. We're going to say goodbye to the street stocks.